Well, welcome to the Beyond Cinema Studio, presented by Celebs.com up here at the Sundance Film Festival. Giovanna, Eliza, Ronen, Gina. We got everyone in here. It's kind of cool, Eliza. I mean, you had a short here a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Did that really give you the platform from which to make this feature, or was this already in the cards?
Yeah, I started writing It Felt Like Love when I got back from Sundance in 2011, and I was so motivated and so kind of empowered by the experience, and I felt like I had people behind me for the first time, and I started writing this script.
And the actual title, I mean, Forever's Gonna Start Tonight, obviously brings up musical connotation. It felt like love, feels like it feels like love. Was there a musical kind of bridge to it, or was it a specific title?
Well, It Felt Like Love is kind of an anti sort of love story, so the title is a little bit ironic, actually, as is Forever's Gonna Start Tonight. There are sort of characters who are aspiring towards love, whatever that is, and sort of uncovering that. There's a lot of myths around it when you're young and what it really means.
Yeah, it seems like it's changed a lot too. It seems that now people are really trying even harder to grow up more quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So for these guys, it's probably their reality. So is that kind of, this is your first acting experience, right? Or first feature film,
yeah.
Right? So for you, did it feel like it resonated on a personal level at all? Did you find some similarities? Or?
In some ways, definitely. I mean, not with the actual events,
Right.
but I think that definitely the emotions behind the character and a lot of the situations bring up either things that you've seen other people experience or things that you've experienced.
Yeah, totally. For me, it's like guys often tell their guy friends that they've done a lot more than they have. So it's kind of interesting, the reverse situation where a girl is making these declarations and facing the consequences. For you, did you feel like, it was also something fresh and interesting? And did you really feel like you got to play a lot with Eliza?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I don't know, everyone was so amazing and everyone was so, oh my gosh, I don't even know. Everyone's vision was really great and everyone was very inspiring and they just let us have fun with it and try different things. And
Did any of you know each other before?
No.
I knew a couple of the other boys that were.
Yeah.
They were at your school as well?
We have some Brooklyn heartthrobs in the film. They're not in this interview, but they have quite the reputation in the borough.
Speaking of Brooklyn then, I mean, for you, is it a case where Brooklyn's a source of inspiration, or is it that
It is.
it's
When I made Forever's Gonna Start Tonight, sort of re-triggered my affection for all these neighborhoods that I used to spend time in when I was in high school. And I'm not like a Williamsburg hipster. I don't identify with that stuff. I don't hang out there. It's something that evolved as I was growing up, so I don't really see it as being a part of like the city that I know.
Yeah.
So for me to be able to make films, in these areas that you rarely see on screen, I think is, something I have insight, about and wanna, basically show the landscape of.
And why do you work with like a film commission then to help you out and get locations, or is it all people places friends and
Yeah, it's
famous?
all kind of me retracing my steps from high school and places that were mysterious or places that I wouldn't go or places, parks that we hung out in.
And in terms of casting, I mean, Ronen really has a couple of credits, behind this film, but the other guys, Giovanna, Gina, obviously fresh faces. What's the intention behind that rather than using people you've collaborated with before?
Well, I really, really love making discoveries, and developing talent. And, I think that they all come to this with other skills, if it's not necessarily acting, skills. Like Giovanna is an incredible hip-hop dancer, and she dances with she dances in competition with a group from Carroll Gardens and her, with her studio. And I was very, interested in those skills and bringing those skills to the film.
Yeah.
And, I thought that Gina was incredibly captivating at the audition, and she had some short experience, and I knew when I sort of saw her footage, I knew that she could carry the film, and I knew that she had a lot of that without expressing a lot, she said a lot. There was a lot unspoken in her performance.
In terms of like earning their trust and having meetings with them once they're cast, do you sit down with each of them individually, or did they all just turn up?
For Gina, the process and the discussion happened before she was cast. Gina sort of, was the last girl I had auditioned. I had scared several away beforehand, and she had a lot of reservations about the role, and there was a long ongoing dialogue about how things would be shot and, working to build her trust and confidence, about the material.
And cool. And so how did she finally earn that trust?
It was quite the process.
Why did you put her through those hoops?
It was almost
Why did
surprising.
you?
I know, I'm sorry. me and my mom, who we were kind of like discussing throughout this whole thing, we were kind of surprised that she still wanted to like talk to us after we said no a few times. And
Gina read the script, or at first her mother was
at
like,
first my mom was like, "You can't even read the script. This is not." But
because of the subject matter.
Yeah, but after you read it a few times, your initial like wall kind of comes down, and we had a lot of meetings with Eliza. She talked a lot about, okay, so you're not actually going to be here when we're filming this, like this is how it's going to be shot, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it helped getting to know Eliza before we committed to anything, and we got to know everyone else.
I showed her all the casting videos so she could have a full picture of like who everyone was going to be. This is this character, this is this character, these are the location photos. Wanted her to be able to see the whole picture.
It's almost an exciting, reverse situation. Because so many people there like get cast or even approach to be cast, the excitement level sweeps them into situations that they don't even know really what they're saying yes to.
Yeah.
So to have this person question at the beginning of their career is probably, kind of a healthy exercise on some level.
I think so. I mean, I think I wouldn't have wanted to cast someone that didn't have boundaries and reservations, because,
Well, other than Trickster, I think all your films since then have had some sort of element of sexual mischief. I mean, where's that coming from?
Where is that coming from?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm interested in those taboos, and I don't think people really, explore them in film in films about women, because they are taboo, you know. And I was interested in showing male nudity because that was, on a lot of levels taboo, and other things that had to get cut because they were too taboo. But and it's not just showing things, but it's also like emotional taboos around those subjects.
Yeah. I mean, Giovanna, I saw you nodding in agreement in the background when she was talking about things that had to get cut because they were too taboo. What was kind of your experience, and did you feel comfortable, or did you feel uncomfortable with some things? Did you also have that conversation?
Well, I feel like me and Ronen are sort of coming from like the same feeling about like putting ourselves out there, but he was more than me. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be, like filming it. Because the script says, like, they have sex, but... And I was like, oh my god. My mom first saw it, and she was like, what is that? And I was like, it's not real, don't worry.
We had a talk, and I was like, I swear I'm not a pornographer.
She was like,
laughing.
Like
they understood, that it was a movie.
But, like, me and Jesse, since he was the person who was in it with me, we knew each other, like, we filmed other scenes before that. We filmed that scene last.
Yeah.
It was one of the last
films. Which was good because
shot.
we got to know each other better, so it wasn't as awkward or as weird. So it wasn't that bad.
It was funny when we were going to shoot that scene. We were in the van, and I could see Giovanna texting, and I was like sort of looking over her shoulder to see what she was texting. She was like, I really don't want to do this, and I was like, oh no, I'm like dragging her to do something she doesn't want to do.
I was like, I'm petrified. I don't know what I'm doing.
So it elevated my anxiety, and then I just saw her type, it's gonna be awkward, and I was like, oh, she can handle awkward.
Awkward's okay.
Yeah.
How about for you? Where did it rank on levels from like awkward to cool?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it was so much awkward or cool. I'd say that I understood that it had to be done for the film, and right away that was one of the first things she asked me when we auditioned. I was like, let's do it. I mean, it's your vision, it's your film. Let's do it. I mean, I understand where she's coming with it from. It's not just to show a body part.
Right.
Like she says, the emotions behind it too. And also, like she said, it's something that not a lot of filmmakers really put in their films because they're scared or something.
Yeah.
And I think it was really necessary, and it's a risk that was worth taking. And I was 300% for it. And she kept asking me, she's like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, let's do it. I mean, it's for the film. Why not? You know?"
Yeah, absolutely, and possibly the reason why people are interested in the movie is because it has that unique perspective that it's not coming from a place of fear. It's coming from a place of interest and conversation and curiosity. But certainly, perhaps from you just seem unassuming. So I don't know if you probably get away with more than you should or less. What would you say? What would you say? Did she get away with more than she?
I mean, maybe a little bit. My mom is always just like, "Oh, she's so cute. Like, we should go meet with her again. Like, she's so sweet." And I don't know. She knows what she's doing.
It's very cool. Well, we appreciate you guys taking a few minutes to come in and have a chat with us.
Thank you.
Congratulations on everything.